Hello guys, welcome back to the channel where it is, as you can tell, a Pittsburgh Steelers Friday. I don't tend to keep track of what jerseys I wear on these videos, or I think perhaps I should. But on a day like today, obviously I've gone for the block numbers because, as everyone knows, this Sunday we are wearing the block numbers for the visit of the Green Bay Packers, and hopefully they're as good as they were last time we wore them, which was against the Las Vegas Raiders last Christmas Eve when we had that last-minute win. Kenny Pickett's pass to George Pickett with, I think it was like 13 seconds left or whatever. So hopefully they give us the good omens this weekend as we take on the Green Bay Packers. As we always like to do, I will start with the injury report, and they are going to be key injury reports for reasons I will get onto later. We'll start with Steelers. Minka Fitzpatrick is out, obviously carrying on from the injuries. The Big W was out against the Tennessee Titans the other week. Montrevious Adams is also out. Was a bit of a loss, I think, when you look at the defensive line with the likes of Cam Hayward and Larry Ogunjobi and Keanu Benton. I feel good about the options that we have. So a loss, but not necessarily a disastrous loss, as it were. Nick Herbig and Cam Hayward were both limited, and Elandon Roberts was a full participant. He did pick up an injury during the week, but given everything that went on with Cole Holcomb against the Tennessee Titans 10 days ago, or 8 days ago, 10 days from Sunday. Pretty good to have, Elandon Roberts being able to step up and, still be a participant rather than leaving us in a bit of a pickle. At the linebacker position, and for the Green Bay Packers, a couple of there is more to it than this, but I will just focus on the key ones. When there's Quay Walker, their linebacker, and Jair Alexander, their defensive back, who are both doubtful for the game. And the reason I want to focus on the injuries to start with is because I think this provides both sides really with a great bit of opportunity, because the quarterbacks are certainly not the greatest. This isn't going to be one of those Brady Manning, Mahomes, Herbert games that we did love and now have come to love. I'll just run through the numbers here. Kenny Pickett has a quarterback rating of 81.6 for the season, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and 1,490 yards. Jordan Love, pretty much the same, 81.9, 12 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, so basically double what Kenny Pickett has, and 1,720 yards. So not exactly thrilling. So I think for both, the fact that both players have their big defensive players in either out or in a down position probably gives them a little bit of, okay, we can probably get through this, because we don't need our number one guy, because the quarterback play isn't going to be great, so we don't need someone to come out with a great big play to stop the juggernaut, as it were. So for Minka and Jair Alexander for each side, I'm not going to say it levels the playing field a bit, but it certainly, I'm sure both sides will probably think, right, this is a good chance for weapons to get their shot. I'm thinking George Pickens, for instance, after everything's gone on. If we're going to focus on him, I'm glad we're doing it with Jair Alexander out of the game. And for them, they might think, okay, Jordan Love, you're not going against Minka Fitzpatrick. This might be a chance for you to improve yourself. And then, of course, there's always the reverse side, where the defenses might think, okay, we've not got great quarterback play going against us. This could be a chance for us to make some plays. And I'm thinking, could Joey Porter Jr. get an interception this game, for instance? So it sort of balances out on both sides. I will, however, say that the Quay Walker injury, given how the running game has started to improve for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the past couple of weeks, the fact they've got a pretty big middle linebacker out of the game, I think could certainly give us a little bit of an edge whilst we're trying to establish this. And I think that is probably where I want to see the most development on the Pittsburgh Steelers side, is can we continue that running game? There's obviously been the talk about around the offensive line with Okorafor missing the Titans game for reasons that have now become apparent, basically taking off Mike Tomlin along the way. Broderick Jones, we've seen how good he is in his time here. So if we can have Dan Moore on one side, Broderick Jones establishing the edges, I think that should hopefully set us up for a lot of success in both the passing game, but mainly the running game, especially, as I said, if the numbers are going to play out as they were on the quarterback side. So I think that's going to be the key for us to winning the game, is just taking advantage of that. And I think this is a game that I'm not going to say it's must win, but it would be very, very important to win, because if you look at our upcoming schedule, so after this Green Bay game, we go away to the Cleveland Browns and away to the Cincinnati Bengals. You know, two teams who have shown that they can be competitive and can be disruptive. And whilst the Bengals got off to their very, very poor start, they have turned themselves around. And whilst many people thought maybe the Browns would be the Browns, especially with Deshaun Watson and the situation he's going through, they have proved themselves to be a very, very good team, as they showed against us in the second week of the season. I want to say, yeah, because it was the second Monday night game. Yeah, so they have shown that they can cause some problems. So if we want to get through that stretch, if we win this game, we're 6-3. And then if we come out of those two games, which are possible losses, I'm not gonna lie or sugarcoat it. They could be losses. Then we come out at 6-5. I'd much rather be coming out of this game at 6-5 than do the maths, 5-6. Because then after the two games, we got Arizona, which again on paper should be a win. New England, which should be a win. And the Indianapolis Colts again on paper should be wins. So if we can come out of today 6-3, we can afford to lose those two games to make it 6-5, and then run 3 to 9-5, moving on towards the end of the season. So, and like I said, it's not a must win, but a win would certainly help us moving forward and establishing ourselves towards the end of the season. But if we want, I think more than just establishing ourselves in the record, I do want to continue to see the progress. And I think more often, I just want to see the consistency. As I've said, whilst I am anti-Matt Canada, I'm not going to deny or avoid the fact that some of the plays and some of the drives have been very good. It's just can we do it on a consistent basis and not have to rely on these thrilling finishes or tense finishes or anything like that. No, let's try and establish the run, control time possession, get a lead, hope that the defense can do their job, and then start to chip away. If we can get like a 10-0 lead, then make it hard for them to come back, give our defense a chance to pin their ears back and go for it. So I think that's what I want to see more. I think if we can get out to an early lead, I think we should be very, very comfortable in this game, because I don't see, going back to what Matt Canada said a couple of weeks ago about our offense isn't built to come back from, isn't meant to come back from deficits. I can't remember the exact words, but you know the words I'm talking about. I don't think this Green Bay Packers team is specifically designed to come back from deficits. So if we can get that, especially with our defense getting the pressure and hopefully some plays, then we should be set up for a win. And I am going to move on and end this video with a prediction, and that is again, it will be a Steelers win. That I'm predicting. I'm not saying it will be a Steelers, but I am predicting a Steelers win, and I do think we are going to see that progression. So I think we are going to start seeing a better offense. So I'm going to go for 28 points on our end, which again would certainly be an improvement from what we've seen in the past couple of weeks. Again, especially if it's a dominant 28, if you know what I mean. And then I think, again, based on what I've said, I think we can hold the Packers to a pretty low score. So I'm going to go for a 13 there. So I'm going to go for a 28-13 Steelers victory, which, as I've said, should hopefully help us out for a tough stretch of road, but maybe give us the confidence to pick up a win in one of those games, and then see what happens moving on, and maybe even get to 10 wins by the Indianapolis Colts game in December. So those are my thoughts. Don't forget, you can like this channel, you can subscribe. Links to all my social media channels are down below. Feel free to subscribe to them. Reach out to me there. And yeah, that's it. So let's go Steelers, and let's hope we get a win.